Welcome back, everybody. Got a repeat of a special guest, Mr. Buffalo Soldier. Nothing intended for legal purposes. We're talking about history, going way back, and hope you enjoy the show. How you doing, sir?
All right, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Today we're going to talk about a nice female named, is it BB?
No. Yeah, let me first, how's my audio?
It's good. It's pretty good. You have your speaker on?
I'm on speakerphone. Yes, I got my phone laying down before me. So
Okay.
let me know if you got pretty good audio, man, because I listened to some of the past interviews and audio wasn't that good. So.
Yeah, it comes in a little distant. Maybe if you put it closer to you. Could be that you have an older phone too.
Well, that's true too. Okay, but as we get started, let me first ask for prayers for an old dog man of
Yes.
yesterday who was Dr. Love,
Yes, sir.
who's had open heart surgery, and we were in the hospital at the same time. And I asked for the prayers of the fraternity for Dr. Love.
Much respect to him. I used to follow him back in the day.
Okay.
Had a lot of great dogs, and prayers sent for sure.
Okay. Now, let me give some clarity about what I want to talk about. There's a dog by the name of BB, not to be confused with Faraz mother, who I also called BB. That was a female, and her name was Queen Bee. So,
Okay.
not to be confused. That was a long time ago.
Gotcha.
BB, that I'm about to speak on, is one of the dogs that the people took from me in 2015. Over the years, I have been accused of being just lucky. Well, excuse me. Over so many years of breeding these dogs and having good dogs out in my own backyard, come to the conclusion that no, it's not been luck. It's been a blessing from God for whatever reason. And I accept that. Now, I've talked to you about Thunderball through several other dogs. But today I will talk to you about Thunderball right up to BB. The later foundation for BB, let me give you a breakdown of GK, who's the giant killer.
Okay.
Let me go before that. Let me give you a breakdown of this Jelly Roll Red dog that I've had a couple fanciers that asked me about that particular dog. Well, Jelly Roll Red, I ruined as a young dog. I bred him out of two other people's dogs. I think I told them that. I bred him out of Miles Davis, out of Miles Davis, and really the Rumbles trainer. And I crossed him with my family of dogs. The first sign I noticed of the goodness in him was little Eve, a little female that never had a tooth on her and went out and put one away in the square. think I told the fraternity about that.
Right.
I bred her back to Jelly Roll Red, who she happened to be a Jelly Roll Red brood matron. Jelly Roll Red was her great grandfather. I bred her to Jelly Roll Red, and I got GK, who was the giant killer. The giant killer is the dog that was involved with the so-called rub situation that I admitted to, that I spoke on and explained as much as I can, and I will, and people can believe what they want, but I'm not looking for endorsements. He was also the dog that I went on to go into Frank Jacob with, and he was a four-time winner. That was GK, the Giant Killer.
Right.
Well, I bred GK, the Giant Killer, to one of my thunder bitches that I have now. She was some of my own thunder blood crossed with Jelly Roll Red, too. And I bred those two together, and I got Daddy. That wasn't such a good dog. Well, I bred him anyway, and that is what produced BB, the buffalo blood.
Got it.
And the reason why I have to tell the fraternity about this particular dog, he was the last show dog that I had, and I think the fraternity needs to know about it.
Agreed.
He was 3 out of 3, and he wasn't 3. He went 119 off the chain. 112 off the chain. He went on to win a contract match, Rico night, 159. And he went on to win another contract at 143 into a dog off of Raymond. That's all I know about that dog, 143. At any rate, I say that over the years, no, it has not been luck. I've been fortunate enough to have very good blood and dogs. Now, GK was another such a shock to me that I really couldn't believe myself that I had come up with another quality pit dog. After all these years, I had another quality pit dog. He was ready and able to go on to the big league. But as I say, those people came and took my dogs, and GK and his sister were among them. GK and his sister produced the one and only male that I have left. I had left. Let me be clear, I don't have a dog.
Right.
My son has a dog. And I just couldn't believe myself that I had another quality dog in BB. That dog was 3 out of 3, and he wasn't 3 years old.
Wow.
And I really was ready to show him on the in the past life. That didn't happen. I'm sorry it did, but it did. So that's really the story I want to share with the fraternity, because I have had some very good dogs that I've been able to breed myself. I'm so thankful for that. That's the story on Bibi.
Right.
And if you have a question or statement, I'll try to answer that.
Right. What would you consider some of his best qualities?
That dog was exactly like his grandfather, who was GK. He had exactly all the same traits. Everything. Face and mouth, which I'm not really a big fan of, to be absolutely truthful about it. Sure, it's a good place to get it over with real fast. I understand that.
Right.
But that's also a very costly place to be. Costly because it's going to cost you. As a matter of fact, Bibi lost half of a color his last time out. He was an exact replica of GK. And he proved that to me right away. He was one hell of an up and coming dog. So I was real proud of him. Now I'm feeling the real crunch of what those people did to me when they came and took my dog.
Yeah, that's
I had my family pretty solid, and they came and took my dog for
right.
no reason, as I said before. Absolutely no reason. So
Right.
those of you out there that don't understand, be very careful who you associate with.
Exactly.
Very careful.
Yeah, things like that happen all too frequently. How big was he? What size was he?
Exactly like his grandfather, 42.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
42 pounds.
And his breeding, what would you call it?
With what? What was that, Rich?
What would you call his breeding? With the
Oh, his breeding? I don't know. When I added the Jelly Roll Red Blood, I don't know what people have asked me over the years, what bloodline am I using? I've used my own bloodline. That's what I've used. But my bloodline of dogs are laced with Mayfield blood, the Divo dogs,
right.
which I've had my share of those dogs. And I've had a couple good pit dogs out of that blood. Namely, dog Dallas. Dallas, I waited on until she was 4 years old. She decided to start. When she started, I took her right to the square, which I shouldn't have done. It's my competitive nature.
Right.
Brian Bailey brought one that killed Dallas. Bottom line. When Dallas won. Yeah. Brian Bailey brought a red boy dog that killed her.
Right.
But she jumped the pitfall of the towel, which made Dallas the winner. Dallas died afterwards. Very good dog, brood natured, pure diamond. And I never should have taken to the square.
Right.
But I did. So yeah.
Right.
And the question was, how could I describe my blood? Jelly Roll Red, I can describe him as Chief Red Boy. I don't mention the Mayfield dogs in him because my bloodline was already laced with Mayfield Bible anyway. So I guess it would be safe to say that would be Jeep Red Boy with Jelly Roll Red. He was our producing dog, and I wrecked him as a pup. I continued to breed him because I knew what was in him.
Right.
And he was a very, very good producing dog. Yeah, I should have bred him more.
Right. Right. So a lot of Daibo in there. You have the stuff down from Mayfield. Was that the Deffenbach stuff or the Kirschner or I remember you told me before, but remind me again what it was coming down from.
Well, I had those dogs way before Kirschner came along.
Okay.
And I had done some breeding with Mao Mao way before I even knew Kirschner.
He had that stuff, right?
The first breeding I made of her was with Mao Mao's Mandela. Another pure Dabo dog. Me not knowing, left the dog with my son to have the pups. That's when I found out they were cannibals.
Right.
She ate up every one. So I bred them. Bred that Earth of Dallas. Or rather, I bred Braskin to Dallas and got a litter. And I had a 2-year-old dog male out of a prior breeding to that. That's when I found out that they can't take Midwestern weather. I lost several of them, and it was weather related. So I ended up breeding the last time Dallas to Braskin, and I gave Sophie 2 pups out of the breeding. One of them is the one Taz that he gave to Kirschner, or sold to Kirschner, that I guess started his yard. But I had had these dogs long before Kirschner, and Mau Mau too. But I went to Mau Mau when I found out he had the strain. I found Mau Mau in the Sporting Dog Journal. And we become friends right up to the day. And
yeah,
I'm still a fancier of the yard.
Right.
Mayfield Diamond Blood, and so is he. It just so happens that it's so very rare. It's very hard to find. Right. I know a few people that have it, but it's very hard to find. And as a matter of fact, I've had to move on over the years when I couldn't find it. Deal with other blood. But I'm still proud of what I've been able to get out of my own backyard. And so especially proud of BB. Because I just couldn't believe that I had another dog that was of quality.
Yeah.
At such a late stage of my dog life. Yeah. Oh.
Well, people can call it luck, but it's just good breeding. I remember those dogs back in the day in the journal. I remember Mau Mau. I remember some of his breedings. He had the heavy Daibo stuff too. And then the um, what dog you mentioned? He's Miles Davis,
Miles Davis.
right? And then the Braskin dog too, Heavy Mayfield. Yeah.
Jelly Roll Red had a sister out of that breeding. Her name was Cleo. She went out and defeated a 4-time winner first time out. That was Jelly Roll Red's sister.
Okay.
And I think Ready to Rumble was showing her. Mama conditioned her at one time, but that was her sister to Jelly Roll Red. So I assume Ready to Rumble did some breeding off of her, but I don't know what his breeding program was. But she was a good kid dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Was most of that stuff? Did it come out red, or did you have some black dogs too, or was most of it red?
Out of that litter, I didn't get the litter. I had to look at the litter. There was one buckskin dog. Cleo was black. Jelly Roll Red was brown, and I think it was another brown one. But Ready to Rumble got a buckskin dog out of that, and that was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
But Jelly Roll Red was a brown dog.
Right.
And he produced very well.
Yeah. Yeah. Where'd you get that name from?
Jelly Roll?
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine in the dog game to ask me, well, I named a lot of my dogs after food.
Yeah.
I don't know. It got to the point with me is just a name is a name, whatever I can think of.
Right, right. Well, was Thunderball named after the movie, the James Bond movie? Was Thunderball named after the James Bond movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. He was my first dog, and I got him. I didn't breed him, but I had him as raised him from a pup.
Right.
And he was some kind of dog. Here, I'm going to tell you a story about a thread that I read on one of my interviews. Somebody had to be an old timer from Chicago to have that information.
Right.
But somebody jumped in and made a statement about Thunder and Big Wheel. Big Wheel belonged to a guy by the name of Mr. Steele. But the later foundation for that, there was a dog I had a contract with Thunder. His name was Pretty Boy. He was also from Jim Wilson's blood, one of my mentors. Thunder beat Pretty Boy so bad that I did him again the following weekend. He went 55 minutes with Pretty Boy, and Mr. Steele brought Big Will the following weekend, and Thunderball beat him in 50 minutes.
Wow.
Now, that's a true story.
Right.
Yeah, I did him as a puppy one time like that. It didn't go that long as puppies, but as an adult dog, I did him 2 weekends in a row. And he pulled off both of them close to an hour apiece.
Nice.
That's the quality of dog that Thunder was. And that person that made that comment, I don't know who it is, but it had to be an old-time Chicagoan because that was a long time ago.
Right, right.
A long time ago. And
Where'd the
I know
name?
I've skipped over so many dogs
Yeah.
that I've had. But I've had so many that I've forgotten some of them.
Yeah, that happens.
I've forgotten some of the matches I've had. Namely that dog Zulu, because that really bothers me because Zulu was a quality dog. And he was bred out of Snake Jr. and Mayfield blood. That dog was a two-time contract winner.
Right.
And I had two of my Stacy Farrar pups. The killer was a kennel accident.
Right.
That was a big loss.
Yeah. Well, that Snake Jr., he was a killer himself.
Okay. Okay. And I still have access to some of that blood, but as I say, I'm not into the dogs.
Right. Yeah.
That's the I guess glory of being an old dog man. You know, and you meet old dog men, and by that having the knowledge of those type things, you have access to some blood that's not necessarily out to the public.
That's true. That's
And
true.
I'm thankful for that. Yeah. It gives you access to some of the old dog men that want nothing to do with the fraternity, actually. And I understand why.
Me too.
Because they've destroyed or tried to destroy our sport, which they'll never do, going on for centuries.
Right.
It's very hard now because of the show news. You don't have the show news. That's virtually word of mouth. And that information is only good as the person's word that gives it to you.
Well said.
That's the stage
I agree.
that we're at.
Right.
In the game.
Yeah. You know, we have opportunity to talk like we do. And
speak up, Rich.
Speak of it. I said, you know, we have the opportunity to keep that history going. That's one of the reasons I do this. Speak with people such as yourself, just to keep that history alive. And it's also information that somebody, and more than a few somebodies, really wants to hear about. They're very interested in it.
Who would like to hear about what?
Just people coming up, people that maybe heard about the blood or the dogs, you know, that you're talking about, and they appreciate the information.
The modern day dogs that people have got.
Yes.
Because there are good dogs out here right now.
That's true.
And certainly some of the people want recognition, but there are also dog men that don't care about the recognition. They just doing what they do. You know?
Right. Yeah,
it might be a situation such as mine. The world will make a beaten path to your door.
Right.
Because you have something good.
That's true.
I don't know if that's what happened to me because I sought competition. I sought people that were, you know, established as quality dog men. And the name one was Rebel. And for the record, a lot of guys say, I beat Rebel with Farrell 3 times. And they have it kind of confused, but I want it to be understood. I beat Rebel 3 times with Farrell. 5, 6, and 7.
Right. One of them was Champion Gator, wasn't it? Rebels Champion Gator.
7 was Champion Gator.
Right.
But number 6 was the hardest one. That I mentioned, that tiny tank dog.
Right.
That was a good match. He said. So.
Yeah. Where'd you get the name Farah from?
I don't know. Former Kennel Kalo told me I got it from somewhere. I can't really recall.
Right. Well, me back in the day when I saw that, I didn't know it was pronounced Farah, so I thought it was Farrah, like Farrah Fawcett. But then I'm thinking, well, he's a male, so it's not named after her.
And actually, on his papers, because I had papers on Farah.
Right.
His papers are spelled with 1 R instead of 2.
Right. Gotcha. Then I thought maybe it's a ancient name, maybe Mesopotamian or something like that, or Sumerian. I always wondered where that name came from.
Okay. But now, I would dare to say King, Giant Killer, and BB, they were of Farah quality.
Right.
They were. Giant Killer was a 4-time winner. BB was a 3-time winner on the way. And I say that not to take anything from Farah. He was a 7-time winner. What can I say? But Stacy was my second best dog. She just had such devastating skill. I don't know if she was game, and I don't even think that she was game. But she was such a devastating dog. She was 4-0, all by contract. Well, all by contract. And I did that by contract to give Thunderball his recognition, because I didn't register his matches. But just to prove him, I registered every one of Farah's matches and every one of Stacy's matches. And after that, I'll tell you what it was. I think in my early stages of my dog life, when Farah got kicked off the grand champion list because he lost his 8th.
Yeah, that's why.
I became frustrated, and I stopped registering matches. But those were the rules, and I accept that now. But back in that day, I had a dog that was on the grand champion list, and I wanted to stay there. When I got to number 5 with Farah, it was time to really gamble him hard.
Yeah.
That was when I ran across Rebel. Ricky Jones. Well, I'll say Rebel. I didn't know Ricky Jones. I said that before for a reason. But I ran across the rebel. Very good, hard competition. And that's what I wanted. And I say to the young guys in the dogs, don't pick a shot. Only shot you need to pick is to make sure you pick some hard competition.
Agreed.
And that's the only way you're going to have a real hard, good dog.
That's true.
Is to beat that hard competition. And I say, I have to give credit to a fancier of mine with a very good dog by the name of Jackson. He's owned by Rico Knight, who happens to be a friend. He's a very good dog. I'll leave it at that. Very good.
Well,
and I told him to prove his dog to find some very hard competition. Find some good competition.
well, salute to them.
So that somewhat sums up what I really had to say, and that was to let the fraternity know about the dog. The last one I had, who was BB, he was something. And I was so shocked that I had another quality dog after all these years of having dogs. And those people came and killed my dogs for absolutely nothing. That case ended up, as I said before, I spent 44 days in the county jail, went back and forth to court for 2.5 years, every 30 days. And me being on oxygen doing this too. And the final decision of the case, 18 months probation for not cleaning up behind my dog.
Mm.
And the state's attorney was trying to give me community service. And I just refused to accept that because actually I can't do community service. I can't do them.
Right.
If I had not been retired, those people would have destroyed my life. Because if I had a 9 to 5, I would have got fired. I lost my house, my wife, family, and everything. And that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But it just so happened that I'm retired. And I was retired when they came. So I thank God for that.
Yes, sir.
That pretty much sums up the story I had to tell about BB. But now I do have a ton of other dog stories. I have to admit to that.
Yeah.
I have lots of stories.
Well,
and when and if time goes on, we may be able to do another interview talking about other stories.
yes, sir.
But right now, I must say that I'm not fully recovered from my episode with pneumonia. And I am still short of breath. So I have to cut this short. But I'm so honored that you give me the opportunity to tell some of my stories.
Well, I think they deserve to be told, and I appreciate you doing this for me and for the fraternity. And when you feel healthy, we'll tell some more stories. I'm glad it was about BB, a well-deserved dog in the hands of a great dog man. So I appreciate that. And we'll talk soon, my friend.
And with that being said, I want to say good day to you and to the fraternity, and let's pray for tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay? Have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you.